General Hospital spoilers. Teet Low rang. Brandon Barash's sudden departure from Days of Our Lives has sent shockwaves through the soap opera community, and many fans are already speculating about what his next move could be. With his history on General Hospital as the rebellious Johnny Zacra, the idea of him returning to Port Charles has taken over social media, fueling discussions about how his character could be reintegrated into the canvas. If Barash does make his way back to GH, it wouldn't just be a nostalgic move, it could be a major game changer, one that shakes up the entire storyline in ways fans never saw coming. Johnny Zacra was always one of GH's most compelling characters. As the son of mob boss Anthony Zacra, he walked a fine line between wanting to escape his family's violent legacy and being unable to resist the dangerous world he was born into. When he left GH years ago, his character was sent to prison, closing the chapter on his reign in Port Charles. But in the world of soap operas, no exit is ever truly final. If Johnny were to return, the writers could take his story in multiple directions, each one bringing a fresh layer of drama and unpredictability to General Hospital. A Johnny Zacra comeback could directly impact some of GH's most prominent power players, particularly Sonny Corinthos. The Corinthos empire is currently facing its fair share of internal and external threats, and the arrival of a former rival could tip the balance in ways no one expects. Would Johnny come back seeking revenge, or would he find himself forced into an uneasy alliance with Sonny due to a larger threat looming over Port Charles? Could he reclaim what's left of the Zacra influence and make a play for control of the criminal underworld? His return could also affect the Jerome family, with Ava potentially seeing Johnny as either a partner in crime or a dangerous enemy. Beyond the mob world, Johnny's reappearance could stir up emotional turmoil for several characters. His past with Lulu Spencer is a major talking point, especially considering the possibility of Lulu waking from her coma. If she were to return at the same time Johnny does, it could lead to an intense love triangle between Johnny, Lulu, and Dante Falconeri. Would Lulu fall back into old habits with Johnny, or would she choose stability with Dante? Their shared history of rebellion and danger could make for an electrifying reunion, one that reignites past sparks while creating new complications. But Johnny's potential love interests don't stop there. Some fans are already discussing whether he could form a surprising new romance with someone unexpected. Could he cross paths with Molly, the ambitious young lawyer who is determined to clean up Port Charles? A relationship between the two would create a compelling dynamic, Molly fighting against the attraction to a man who represents everything she stands against, and Johnny finding himself drawn to someone who challenges him in ways no one else has before. Then, there's Elizabeth. While it may seem like an unlikely pairing at first, some fans have expressed interest in seeing Johnny and Elizabeth together. A romance between the two would be full of conflict and intrigue, especially if Lucky Spencer is out of the picture. Johnny's bad boy reputation mixed with Elizabeth's desire for stability and security could lead to a passionate but risky relationship that leaves her torn between logic and emotion. Additionally, Johnny's return could introduce new conflicts with characters like Carly Spencer and Jocelyn Jacks. Carly, who has always been deeply connected to the mob world, might see Johnny as either a threat to Sonny or a potential ally, depending on how he positions himself. Jocelyn, who has recently become more involved in the criminal side of Port Charles through Dex Heller, could find herself drawn into Johnny's orbit in unexpected ways. One of the biggest questions surrounding a potential Johnny Zacra return is what has changed about him during his time away. Has prison hardened him, making him more ruthless and dangerous than before? Or has he found a new purpose, trying to carve out a different path that doesn't involve violence and crime? No matter what direction the writers choose, one thing is certain, his return would set off a domino effect of events that could reshape General Hospital in a big way. Fans have been vocal about their desire to see Brandon Barash back on GH, and with Days of Our Lives no longer an obstacle, the timing couldn't be better. Whether he returns as Johnny Zacra or a brand new character, his presence would undoubtedly energize the show and bring fresh drama to the canvas. Now, all eyes are on ABC. Will they seize this opportunity to bring a fan favorite back into the fold? Brandon Barash has had a long and successful run on Days of Our Lives, portraying both Stefan and Jake DiMera, but with his unexpected firing from DOOL, the the possibility of his return to General Hospital has sparked major intrigue. While DOOL was a significant chapter in his career, GH has always been his original home in the soap opera world, and bringing him back at this critical moment could be exactly what the show needs to inject fresh energy into its increasingly stagnant storylines. Currently, GH is facing a creative crossroads, with several long-running arcs feeling repetitive and lacking the unpredictable spark that keeps audiences invested. Johnny Zacra's return, especially with the magnetic presence of Brandon Barash, could be the perfect solution. His character had deep ties to Port Charles's mob world, past romantic entanglements, and a rebellious charm that made him both dangerous and irresistible. Reintroducing Johnny into the mix could stir up long-dormant conflicts, rekindle old rivalries, and even create new alliances that would shake up the power dynamics in town. One of the most compelling aspects of Johnny's return would be his impact on GH's struggling mob storyline. With Sonny Corinthos facing increasing challenges, both personal and professional, Johnny could arrive as a new player, either as a threat looking to reclaim power or as an unexpected ally. Would he step back into the criminal world, or would he be a reformed version of himself, trying to carve out a different path while still being haunted by his past? Either way, his presence would add an unpredictable element to the show, keeping viewers on edge. Beyond the mob drama, Johnny's return could also reignite past romances or introduce shocking new pairings. His history with Lulu Spencer remains one of his most memorable relationships, and if she were to wake from her coma, their reunion could be an emotional roller coaster. Alternatively, he could set his sights on someone unexpected, perhaps Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, who shares his rebellious spirit, or even Maxie Jones, reigniting old flames in a way that complicates her current life. The timing of Barash's potential return couldn't be better. With GH in need of bold moves to maintain viewer engagement, bringing back a fan favorite like Johnny Zacra could be the game-changing decision that revitalizes the show. His exit from DOOL has left a gap in the soap world, and what better way to fill it than by bringing him back to the place where it all began? ABC now has a golden opportunity to take advantage of this moment. With GH looking for ways to keep audiences hooked, reintroducing Johnny in a major storyline could be exactly what the show needs to break free from its current creative rut. Will General Hospital seize this opportunity and bring back Brandon Barash for a thrilling new chapter? If they do, Port Charles may never be the same again. Johnny Zacra's potential return to General Hospital is already sparking intense speculation, but the latest rumor surrounding his involvement in an unexpected storyline is truly jaw-dropping. While many fans have been discussing Johnny's possible romantic entanglements, a shocking twist could place him at the center of one of the most unpredictable and controversial storylines yet, becoming the sperm donor for Brooke Lynn Quartermaine's IVF journey. With Brooke Lynn and Maxie Jones currently navigating major changes in their personal lives, adding Johnny to the mix would completely shake things up. Brooke Lynn has always been fiercely independent, yet her desire to have a child on her own terms could lead her to make a surprising decision, turning to someone from her past for help. If Johnny were to be her sperm donor, it wouldn't just be a random choice. Their history, mutual respect, and undeniable chemistry could make this arrangement far more complicated than either of them anticipated. The idea of Johnny being the biological father of Brooke Lynn's child could send shockwaves through Port Charles, particularly within the Quartermaine family. How would Ned and Olivia react to such an unconventional decision? Would this cause tension between Brooke Lynn and Chase, or could Johnny's involvement reignite old feelings between him and Brooke Lynn? Even more intriguing is how Maxie might fit into this storyline. As one of Brooke Lynn's closest friends, she would undoubtedly have strong opinions about the situation. Given Maxie's own complicated romantic history and past involvement with Johnny, her feelings on the matter could be far more personal than she'd like to admit. Could this unconventional decision push Maxie and Johnny back into each other's orbit? Or would it create an unexpected love triangle that no one saw coming? Beyond the romantic complications, this storyline could also re-establish Johnny as a major player in GH's ever-evolving power struggles. With the Quartermaine family already dealing with enough drama, adding a wild card like Johnny into the mix would create endless possibilities. His past with the Zacra crime family could once again come into play, especially if he suddenly finds himself drawn into his child's life more than he originally intended. This kind of storyline, a bad boy returning to town only to find himself unexpectedly tied to the Quatermain legacy, would be a fresh and thrilling direction for General Hospital. It could open the door for more family rivalries, complicated emotions, and, of course, plenty of unexpected twists. If GH is looking for a bold and daring new arc, this just might be the perfect way to do it. So, the question remains, will General Hospital take the leap and bring Johnny Zachra back in one of the most shocking ways possible? If so, Port Charles is in for one wild ride. The shocking revelation that Luke is still alive is already sending shockwaves through General Hospital, but the idea that Johnny is directly connected to his return makes this story even more explosive. With Johnny making his way back to Port Charles, his presence is not just about revisiting old rivalries or reigniting past relationships, it's about something much bigger. His return is tied to Luke's survival, setting the stage for a massive unraveling of secrets, betrayals, and hidden agendas. The question is no longer just if Luke is alive, but why he stayed hidden for so long, and what role Johnny has played in the entire mystery. For years, many refused to believe that Luke truly perished in an off-screen accident, and now, those doubts are proving to be justified. But if Johnny is involved, it suggests that Luke's disappearance wasn't just a Cassadine plot or a case of him vanishing on his own terms. There's something bigger at play. Something dangerous enough that Luke had to remain hidden, and Johnny had to be part of the cover-up. But why Johnny? How did a former mob prince become entangled in one of the biggest mysteries in GH history? Johnny's involvement raises even more questions. Has he been working alongside Luke this entire time? Has he been keeping his survival a secret, protecting him from unseen enemies? Or was Johnny only recently brought into the fold, perhaps as Luke's chosen operative in Port Charles? His sudden return could signal the next phase of Luke's plan, a plan that could put multiple lives at risk. If Luke has been orchestrating something from the shadows, then Johnny's presence in town isn't a coincidence, it's a warning that something big is coming. This revelation would shake the very foundation of Port Charles. Laura, Tracy, Sonny, and even Carly would be left reeling at the truth that Luke has been alive all this time. But the real question is, why now? Why is Luke choosing this moment to return? Is he in danger? Or is he returning because he is the one about to bring down a new threat? And if Johnny is working with him, does that mean Johnny has abandoned his past criminal ties? Or is he playing both sides, as he's always done, ensuring that no matter how things unfold, he comes out on top? Beyond the larger conspiracy, Johnny's return could stir up personal conflicts as well. His presence could create new tensions with Sonny, especially if Johnny has been involved in something that threatens the balance of power in Port Charles. Sonny has never fully trusted Johnny, and with good reason. The former Zachra heir has always had his own agenda, even when it seemed like he was playing by the rules. If Johnny is back for more than just personal reasons, Sonny will be watching his every move. Then there's Dante, who has long viewed Johnny as an unpredictable wild card. If Johnny has been hiding the truth about Luke, it could put him at odds with Dante once again, reigniting the tension between them. As a detective, Dante will want answers, but Johnny has never been one to give up information easily. Will he cooperate, or will he find a way to manipulate the situation to his advantage? And what about Lulu? If Johnny has been in contact with Luke, does he know something about Lulu's condition that no one else does? Could he be the key to helping her wake up? Lulu's return at the same time as her father would be a massive emotional event, one that could completely reshape the relationships in Port Charles. If Johnny is the one who has been helping Luke, would Lulu see him in a new light? Or would their past get in the way of any future they might have? Beyond Lulu, Johnny's return could also shake up Brooke Lynn, Maxie, and even Ava. Brooke Lynn, who shares Johnny's rebellious streak, might find herself drawn back into his orbit, especially if he's involved in something dangerous and thrilling. Maxie, who has always had a complicated relationship with Johnny, could be caught in the crossfire of whatever he's planning. And Ava, who knows a thing or two about surviving in the underworld, might see Johnny as either an asset or a threat, depending on what his true intentions are. The potential for chaos is limitless. With Luke back from the dead and Johnny tied to his return, Port Charles is about to face a seismic shift. The old power structures could be thrown into disarray, long-held secrets could finally come to light, and new alliances, both dangerous and unexpected, could form. But the biggest question of all remains: if Luke and Johnny are working together, who are they really up against? Who or what is so powerful that Luke had to fake his death and stay in hiding for so long? And now that Johnny is back, what does it mean for Port Charles? One thing is certain: this is not just another return. This is a reckoning. Luke's survival changes everything. Johnny's presence means something big is about to happen. And when the truth finally comes out, nothing in Port Charles will ever be the same again.